Cigarer, Cigarer. Easy to spell, but hard to say. Who or what is a cigarer, and what is this show all about? Well, if you started watching this video, you might be a cigarer. And by the end of it, you'll definitely know for sure if you're a cigarer, and you'll clearly understand what the show is all about. This show is about people that are passionate about cigars. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Cigarers, the YouTube show dedicated to passionate cigar smokers, their interesting and diverse stories, and their favorite, sometimes unique places to smoke. I'm your host, Dan Zender. I've been a dedicated cigar smoker for 37 years. In that time, I've smoked a lot of cigars. I smoked them everywhere from my man cave here at home to hundreds of shops and lounges in the US and overseas. I've met literally hundreds and hundreds of very interesting cigar smokers. I've listened to thousands of stories, and I've enjoyed untold hours of relaxation while smoking cigars. And over the years, I've made some observations about cigar smokers and the cigar lifestyle. Perhaps the greatest observation is this. Walk into any cigar shop, cigar lounge, or cigar event around this country, and you're going to see one thing. You'll see people of all races and ethnicities, both sexes, all sorts of socioeconomic status and occupations, and just about any other differentiator or descriptor you can think of, brought together over the simple enjoyment of cigars. And if you look close enough, you'll also notice they're doing something else. They're interacting with one another. They're talking, laughing, debating, and telling stories. I know. I've seen it and I've experienced it for years. So it occurred to me recently that perhaps cigar smoking creates an environment that unites us more than we know. This certainly has to be a good thing for us as individuals and for our small piece of the world in which we live. Talking to friends or complete strangers over cigars can be an interesting, enlightening, entertaining, and sometimes emotional experience. It's very rarely, however, boring. 2020 has been an unprecedented year on so many levels. There's so much bad news out there, from COVID, race relations and politics, to wildfires and unemployment. It's time to focus on something that brings people together rather than separates us. That's why I decided to start this show. I wanted to tell stories about people who smoke cigars. We have a lot in common. We just need to open ourselves up to the opportunities to learn. And I believe relaxing with a cigar and other people who enjoy cigars presents that opportunity. My intent is to take you to cigar shops around the country to meet interesting and passionate cigar smokers, hear their stories, and see where they'd like to smoke. Now, if you're looking for cigar reviews or tips on how to light your cigar or how to humidify it or how to cut it, this show isn't for you. There's a lot of great content already out on YouTube that you can access. This show is about people who love the pleasure of smoking cigars, enjoy the cigar lifestyle, and perhaps most importantly, enjoy the company of other cigar smokers. Which brings me to a problem that I have. There's those words, cigar smokers. I've never really liked the word cigar smoker as a description of my passion. It sounds very common, very general. I'd rather have that one word that instantly and succinctly conveyed my passion and lifestyle. A word with some sort of elegance and elan. We call somebody who dances a dancer, someone who runs is a runner, someone who paints a painter, and of course, someone who smokes is a smoker. But smoker doesn't seem to differentiate cigar smokers from other folks who smoke anything from cigarettes to God knows what. Even folks that use electronic cigarettes have a one-word descriptor, vaping, and that leaves no doubt in your mind what it is that they do. So why is someone who smokes cigars a cigar smoker and not a, you guessed it, cigarer? This, I believe, is one of the great linguistic puzzles of the English language. So I decided, without consulting Webster, Oxford, or Wikipedia, that I was going to use the word cigarer as that one word to describe those that have the passion for cigars enjoy the company of other cigar smokers, and of course, the cigar lifestyle. A couple of caveats here. Firstly, I must apologize to the Dutch for stealing the Dutch plural word for cigars. I figured they wouldn't mind too much. Secondly, there's still going to be regular cigar smokers out there. We can't really refer to those that smoke one cigar a year as a cigarer. The same applies to those whose cigar smoking experience extends to the occasional "it's a girl" cigar or that tiny flavored cigar at crazy cousin Harry's wedding reception. So I've taken it upon myself to add cigarer to the smoking lexicon. Furthermore, I decided to use cigarer as the name of this show and this YouTube channel. Now, armed with this new descriptive word and an understanding of my intent for the show, let me tell you what I have planned in a little more detail. Each episode will feature a different cigar shop. I want to tell you a bit about the shop and the clientele. Then I want to introduce to you one of the resident cigarers. Let them tell you their stories. Get to meet them as if you had traveled to that shop, sat down, lit up, and began talking to them. Some of these stories may be funny and lighthearted, some emotional, some educational and entertaining. You're just not going to know what you're going to get until you get there. So think of this show as your virtual cigar lounge. Occasionally I'll take sidetracks like visiting, special cigar venues or attending cigar events, and who knows what special guests we may have a chance to meet. So by now, I'm sure you can answer the question I asked at the show's opening. Are you a cigarer? If you are, that's great. And if you aren't, and you're still watching, that's okay too. Perhaps over time, I can convert you. And maybe, for any of you non-cigar smokers out there that continue to watch further episodes, I can convince you to pick up that first cigar, light it up, and see what you've been missing. I decided to start this show because of my passion for cigars and the great experiences cigar smoking has brought me over the years. Now, to tell these stories, I'm learning how to shoot video, do post-production, and manage YouTube as I go. So I'm going to apologize in advance for any imperfections. I hope the show's concept will encourage you to like and subscribe to this channel. And hit that notification icon if you'd like to get notified when new show is released. I certainly welcome comments and suggestions, and I'll respond to as many as I possibly can. Thank you for watching. I hope you will join the Cigarers virtual lounge. And who knows, one of these days I may be in your town and we can meet, sit down, light up a cigar, and you can tell me your unique story in person. So until next time, sit down with a great cigar, relax, talk to your fellow cigarers, enjoy that experience, and remember to always support your local tobacconist.